Hello, everyone. Philip Lee returning with another episode of Civil War Chat. Today is October 24th, 2022, which is a Monday. Click on the subscribe button down here in the lower right to subscribe to future episodes. And also, if you click on that notification bell in the far upper right, North Korea will launch a nuclear missile to the university where the academic historian that you feel is most unfair toward the South will be targeted. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the presentation for today, which is about a free version of Douglas Southall Freeman's biography of Robert E. Lee. 88 years ago, Scribner's published Douglas Southall Freeman's 4-volume biography of Robert E. Lee, which won the Pulitzer Prize in 1935. If there is ever a final word on Lee, it will be Freeman's biography. After attending a battlefield reenactment in the early 1900s, in which authentic Confederate veterans were participants, the college-aged Freeman resolved, quote, "If someone does not write the history of these men, it will be lost forever. I am going to do it," close quote. He followed the 4-volume history of Lee with a 3-volume history of Lee's lieutenant commanders. His final work, released posthumously, was an 8-volume biography of George Washington, which won the Pulitzer Prize in the 1950s. Now, obviously, you can discern from this that Freeman was quite wedded to Virginia. He was a native Virginian and had a great love for Virginia. Now, about 20 years ago, sometime around 2002, a man named William P. Thayer noticed that Scribner's had failed to renew its copyright on Lee's biography of Freeman, or excuse me, Freeman's biography of Lee. As a result, Thayer typed all 2,421 pages and posted it to his website, where it is available for free. He included all the footnotes, which he handily placed on the pertinent pages instead of at the end of the book or chapter. By clicking on the highlighted link above, for those of you that are reading the text, be aware that it may take a minute or so to download. The book is available by chapter, and each chapter is best accessed by clicking on the appropriate link in the table of contents. So in other words, when you click on the link that I'm providing you, it's going to take you to the introductory part of the book, including the table of contents. And there are table of contents for 4 different books. So you've got 4 table of contents. To get the chapter you want, you just go to the table of contents, find the chapter you want, and click on that. It'll take you to that chapter. It really works well once you realize that you don't have to try and read through the whole book to get to your chapter. Just choose your chapter from the table of contents by clicking on the hyperlink. Now, this fellow, William P. Thayer, opines that Robert E. Lee, quote, is an outstanding example of the American character at its best. And he remains, in many ways, the quintessential American historical figure, close quote. Although writing that he has no romanticized view of secession or slavery, Thayer adds, quote, "My view is substantially Lee's," close quote, as summarized on pages 303 through 306 in the 4th volume. Little biographical information is readily available on Bill Thayer. He has been posting out-of-copyright books to his website for 25 years. It seems like he looks for those where the copyright holder has failed to renew it. And that way we can actually get some fairly recent books through his website. The topics of his website are not just the Freeman biography. In fact, that's only a small part of it. The topics in his website include the histories of America, Great Britain, Latin America, Ukraine, American railroads, Holland, World War II, the American Navy, and there's a large site on Roman antiquity. While he does not disclose his credentials, he notes, quote, "I try very hard to get my facts right and to present opinion as opinion," close quote. Although he lives in the United States, he spent only 6 months in the South. He has also lived in Europe, and it appears to me like a long time. Indeed, professionally, he is, quote, "a simultaneous interpreter, French and English, specializing in mechanical engineering and financial markets," close quote. Well, I've heard many complaints that online books are hard to read. Perhaps that's because those objecting to them are trying to read the books on a desktop computer or a smartphone. A tablet computer, in my experience, like the iPad, provides a better experience. Entirely, to me, satisfactory for the Freeman biography. Now, those wanting to visit Bill Thayer's homepage instead of just the Freeman biography, I'm going to give you a link to that as well. But I'm also going to provide you a link to the Freeman page. It takes you to the table of contents. Okay, although 2,400 pages may seem intimidating, those with a deep interest in Robert E. Lee will find no better biography of him than Freeman's. And Thayer's free online version is a gift to be treasured. So what I'd like to do now is to show you one of my books, Lee's Lost Dispatch and Other Civil War Controversies. During the first invasion of the North that ended at the Battle of Sharpsburg, also known as Antietam, a special dispatch from the Lee's headquarters to his subordinate commanders went out, and one of them got lost and ended up with the Union commander, which gave him a chance to destroy Lee's army in detail because Lee had broken it into 5 pieces. The Federal commander already had a numerical advantage over Lee's total army, and with it being broken into 5 pieces, he could have destroyed each one sequentially. Now, that didn't happen. This chapter explains how the dispatch got lost and speculates about who might be responsible. In addition to that, there are other stories such as, what was the Confederacy's biggest mistake in the Civil War and what was the Union's biggest mistake. So there's about a total of about 15 different stories in here, and Lee's Lost Dispatch is one of them. This book is available, I think, at Amazon for $19. If you want to get an autographed copy from me, it'll be $23, but I will cover the postage to you if you're here in the United States. You just need to email me, Phil, PHIL _Lee, LEIGH @me.com. That's Lee's Lost Dispatch by Philip Lee. Okay, that's our show for today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.